To the second part of this tutorial on block coloring of this horse or pony, whichever way you want to look at. So this is the drawing we did in the first part of part one, and we're trying to replicate this, and we're trying to learn and master techniques while we're doing that at the same time. And the techniques are essentially improving your drawing strokes and at the same time enhancing your knowledge of tones. And tones are essentially what makes an art reference image or any object so enticing to see, three-dimensional and everything. It's the tones. If you were to break down the tones of this original reference image, you could say there are hundreds, thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of tones. It's the reason why we have TVs that have billions of colors, 4K TVs, billions of colors, because they can replicate those individual tones at a very low level. Look at these tones at the mane of the horse, yeah? The purple going all the way to blue, beautiful colors, and the distinctive tones of that shackles, the girdle that is wrapped around the horse's mouth here, head. Yeah, look at that. All different, and they make up of all the tones. And this is what we got as far, right? So what did we do in our drawing? Well, first of all, we want to take out those distractive horses at the back, which play no part in this drawing, and then took the green. We first took the green, transferred it using the line brush with a bigger brush size, about 20%, and just took it down all the way. And then at the same time, and after that, we laid down as the smaller brush to the horse as well. So we got the two foundational, the main object all colored, and then the background. And then we diffused the background, the lines where the colors were distinct, using shade. We switched to the shade brush and then we simply shaded over it. And it was just like magic. We managed to diffuse out the background. It was wonderful to see, right? And then we moved, and I showed you in towards the last part of the end, moving to a smaller brush and focusing by zooming in the small details, So we're going to continue along this path of using the trace to continue to build up the tones and to make up this horse. So let's use a nice brush size below 1%, and we got the line brush 100 density. We're not even changing that. And then we're going to pick out these small tones that make up the horse. Look at these small tones. Can you see it? Right? Can you see the ours and this? It's very important you see your drawing and the reference. This is where it really tremendously helps you by clicking on this left big icon there and switching back and forth will allow you to see your drawing and what you need to achieve in terms of the reference image. Or you could simply go all the way there so you don't see any of your drawing and then just switch back and forth. See? And then this is one technique that I use, is I just quickly go over, select some of these colors when I move to the other end, and then I just go put down this colors, right? That's one way of doing it. Okay, randomly. I'm not using any textures. I'm creating the textures. Just remember that. So if some of you have been following me, will know that textures is just an artifact of drawing, nothing more. And people tend to think the brush will create the texture for them. and make life super easy for them. But that's because they are already too focused on the tools rather than becoming a master of these tools. That's what you need to become. So I'm going to draw it like this. I'm going back and forth, right? And using this brush and laying down what I see here. Some blue here. Do you see that blue? And then I'm not even worried about the details of it because I'm already zoomed in. Yeah. Right, see that? There, you can see that dark color there. There, can you see that? Just bringing that in. See that? This, the dark color there, brown. It's all the different tones here. And I'm picking the color picker to get those distinctive tones. And there's one that goes here. And then look at those beautiful look at those lovely light tones. And next time I'll show you how to achieve more detail and more of the using the density settings. Look at that, just making out nostrils. When you go to detail, there is nothing detail about it. It just looks like this horse went through a whole crop of eating, because he's still got his green and yellow on his mouth here. Right, so you can feel comfortable. You can go here and pick the colors and then just move it. So it's entirely up to you how you want to do it. So now what I'm doing is so I can still have a reference to see what I'm doing. This is really key to you developing some very important skills. Look, I just went too far out, so I'm going to take that, refine that. Yeah, you're not really learning. You're not really having to draw, are you? You're just shaping with what you see, the colors you see. It's wonderful colors that make up the horse. So I'm just using the simplest method, which is what you might prefer, is just seeing the reference image so you don't have to guess where the actual lines are, right? So whatever you're comfortable with, the important thing is that you're learning, you're actually improving, and you feel confident that you can pick up another drawing and just run with it, That's the important thing. Don't be afraid. Come on, this is digital. It's not like you're wasting paper and pencil and ink and all that. You can draw as long as you want until the battery runs out or the CPU fails or something. Right, so notice I'll be halfway up the mark, which means I'm picking the colors, tones from the reference image, you see? That's all it is. And then you can see for yourself that even picking out these tiny tones makes up of almost like a realistic image of this pony. Let's see where we are. See that? How easy that was? Now the eye resolves in such a manner it attempts to give the image that you're familiar with, your brain is familiar with. That's all we did. It was a mishmash of colors. If you go to any museum and you take a close look at the art piece, you'll find it's a mishmash of colors. That's all it is. Nothing more. This is having a huge canvas right at our fingertips because of the zoom feature. Yeah. So let's clean up the nose here. And again, you can either do it by zooming to the image, and then like I do, some tends to, and then, but if you're not familiar with the shape, always go to there, because that's when the shape comes in, right? There. See, and then you can see your, then there, see? That's the image. Okay, just putting the image, okay? So I'm actually using and this really helps you to focus more on your drawing rather than the reference image, and not just relying on the reference image. Then you have to use your freehand ability right there you are. And then what we got a little bit the one, there's like a band going that way, and there's a dark orange band going that way, and there's a very light. Believe me, I would do something a bit different if I didn't want. If I want to make it photorealistic, I would go about it in a different method, but just here to show you this wonderful pony that I'm drawing. Look, so this is how far we've become, and we're going to finish this in one go. No big deal, right? We're going to finish this with this 1.8% brush, which I'm beginning to like, and do that. Normally in other drawing times, I would use this density, which is exceptionally powerful brush. This would be what I would use in order to achieve photorealism. But since I'm only showing you, I'm going to keep it density 100%, so you can have fun finding ways to make other drawings as well. That's the purpose of this class, is to show you that you should derive enjoyment if you're beginning out in this journey of drawing. Okay, there, can you see that there? There's that. Remember, we picked out green, so it's very important that you have the cursor just below your level. So you're picking the green color. That is the color that you've and then go back to the, and now look at this wonderful, look at that, this wonderful eyelash. Just this tiny detail makes all the difference. So focus on, and look, I'm going to create textures. This is how you create textures. People think you need a brush for that. For heaven's sakes, no. Tones are created using colors. Textures are created using colors. It's a mishmash. Go to a museum and see how they do it. Take a good close look at the art piece. Right, so I'm doing what you would typically do. So you've got the reference image halfway so you can see it, and then you're just picking out the colors and simply applying it. That's all you're doing. Right there. Pick different colors. That's it. Here. And I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to the ears when we get there. But I just want to show you how you create the hair, and you think it's like really complicated. It's nothing like it at all. This is just fooling your eyes into giving the impression of textures. I did that with elephant drawings. You'll see it then how I created the textures so easily. And pencil artists tends to have a good grasp of creating textures because they can be more detailed, and then they use the minimum pencil strokes to get the textures, nothing more. Remember we came to the eye. Let's try and refine the eye. We had a smaller, and I'm going to use, look at that, look at this eye. See, if you look at it there, look at that. I'm going to use this, just using these colors, right? Using a lot of these colors that make up this eye, nothing more. Just laying down this abundance of colors and tones that are going on in the eye. It's a beautiful example. And then I move my screen back to my drawing, and then I pick that there. And then like any other eyes, this is so big, but still we can do a lot of damage with this big brush because we're quite zoomed in here. Okay, now do the top of the eyebrow, right? Get this little baby, the light turn, and then get this dark turn here. That's it. Then let's turn here. And then look how thin the bottom lip. You can do that by sandwiching it in like that. See? Very easy. A lot of techniques you can learn. Right there. And that's got a lovely top line here. Let's see what that looks. Oh, wow. Such a huge difference, isn't it? And how long did that take? You have to admit, that didn't take that long at all. So let's save this, because what time, how are we doing for time? So we're doing very well, actually. We're doing really working rapidly. We've got another, I think another 40 minutes or something. Yeah, we have another 40 minutes. So we're gonna take, I can take a bit of time and show you, but we will finish this. So we'll show you how easy it is without any drawing experience. Believe me, once you get to this level, to this method of drawing, it will open up your eyes to what drawing is all about, because it's simply taking the drawing, which is on our left side, and you see how I went through a process of the drawing, right, and all the way, from the reference image and transferring a drawing like this. This is very easy. If at first you're uncomfortable, just keep doing it. I mean, watch how I go about it. I'm going very fast, obviously. I don't expect you to do this in an hour or two. Take your time, pick simple subjects. Start from the bottom up and then work your way. Do the tutorials. Do the things that's been designed to teach you, improve your art techniques, not just to use the app to do whatever you want and let the app dictate to you what you should do. That's silly. That's just ridiculous. Art is creative. It has to come from all corners of you, the very person you are. It should define you. You should define yourself as an artist, not the tools or the app, okay? So, all right, so let's go and I'm decided I'm gonna save this drawing, okay? And then I'm gonna open it up again. Okay, my paintings, and then I'm gonna open it up. So this is what we had so far, and now I'm going to go and finish that. Those, you see the actual ears. The ears are a bit funny, so let's fix this ears. Right? Look what it looks like right now. See where we did the shading? How beautiful that is. So we don't have to worry about that. First of all, let's first define the outer. So we moved it just below the halfway mark, so we can pick the colors we got. Don't worry about the exact color to match. We'll do that afterwards on the background, right? So I'm just picking the colors and then just shaping around this, and then we still retained the same brush, and now I'm picking the outside of that. Right, look, yeah. So always pick the tones, and then look, this is all I'm doing. Just taking the colors, and you'll see how quickly we managed to create textures. You're thinking textures is somehow magically born with a brush or tied to a brush. That's because you're thinking it's in 2D, you're not thinking in 3D. Okay? Okay, let's get that. Yeah, that's sort of confusing me a little bit. Right there. Right, just get these colors in there. Alright, let's see what we've done so far. Look at that. That ears is beautifully shaped, isn't it? And then we can lighten the green and make the ears stand out more, which is what I'm going to do, okay? But let me finish the other ear. Here, look, it's a blob here. And let's see what we've got. This is what we've got, right? So we can, again, be comfortable and remember, you have to be on your green, and take the green that you've done here. So it's your green, and then move it up so you can do the ears. Here, I'm going to show something quickly here. You can see these. This is how I'm creating textures. This is when I did the John Jones Constable's The Hayway, one of his most famous paintings, recognized throughout the world. The Hayway, and it's a cart in the marsh in a cottage in Suffolk, I believe, and paints the cart with on a sort of a marshy area with a dog barking on one corner, and then a small house in the village. It's like a village rural area, and he has the cart is a small cart sort of in the marshland with a boy, I think, sitting on it, and a man and a horse. And then when I looked at it close, my God, it was a mishmash of colors, nothing more. It was like just a mishmash of colors. And then that's exactly what it is, mishmash of colors, and that's what creates the illusion of texture, not the brushes. If you're thinking it's the brushes, you're thinking incorrectly. You're thinking the tools define how you draw. Look at this, how we did the house, and look how we're going to change. So this is when I'm going to introduce you to the density. I'm going to bring this down, increase that, and then watch how I pick out the colors. Remember, I'm going to make the ears more pronounced. The density setting, in case you don't know, is basically pick that green. It's basically just changing the, let's put this screen here. Let's pick this screen. So this stands out a bit more of the ears. So basically what it means is like very, very easy. I cannot explain it in such. So what it is doing is essentially, actually, sorry about this, I'm just focused on this green background to make it look like it's going to pop out, you know. I don't want the ears to look diffused. Part of the animal, so you know what I'm doing here? Yeah, that's it. So I don't have to play with too many areas. So let me just finish this. So the density means that if you're at halfway, if you're at full 100%, it's an ink. Basically, it's just pure ink color. What that means is that you can go over it again and again by strokes, and it will be still, it will just give you the exact tone that you've picked. If you're in halfway, you will have to do a few strokes to achieve that tone. So that means the tone is a little bit like reduced or diffused, and then you build it up. Think of it like a pencil, right? You have a pencil, you lightly stroke it, and then you increase the strokes and increase the number of strokes, and the tones change. That's exactly what it is. And this, in essence, is all you need to make excellent drawings. Not all the tools that many rush to in the app, right? You can do that. They're perfectly fine for anime drawing, but when it comes to real traditional drawing, you can't beat this method, you know, that I'm showing you. So this is what I have. And let's fix this area, right? It looks a little bit weird compared to the rest of the background. So I'm going to pick this color. I'm going to pick this color, actually, because I want a bit of a little bit of white. Right there. All right. So I'm going to pick this, and then I'm going to diffuse it even more. So this is how I've gone down in density, so I can really play with this. Right, refine this. Yeah, it's almost like a shade brush. Can you see? Works almost like the shade brush. But we don't want all these little bits and pieces that like remnants of what's happening on the back. So again, increase that brush and then just diffuse that area. Right, that's it. That's all you want. See? This is a bit like traditional, but you have control over how much color you want to put down with the density, right? I'm going over it. This is exactly like shading. That's all it is. Let's see what we have. So much better now, isn't it? Now we can pick this. It's just another form of shading. Before we used, right, look at that. It just stands out like anything, isn't it? The head. So now let's go back so you can pinch zoom and look what we have here. We've encroached on that green. So I'm gonna reduce the brush, take it up, and then pick that green that we have, and then just make that eyes, ears more refined, yeah? That's all I'm doing. It's got to have a nice, lovely ear. Got to look healthy, right? Doesn't it? Does that look good enough? Yes, it looks perfect. So now all we do is, I'm going to do what my developer told me. You don't have to, so I'm going to save it. Oops, I should have selected a save. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to my paintings and open it up. So this is where we are now. So now we simply go back to our brush stroke, brush 1.4%. Remember we had 1.8? Let's do 1.7. Select, take it up in density settings. And if you did, you could actually put it on 70%, which sort of diffuses, gives the illusion of diffused areas in the image. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to leave it 100% for now, okay? And finish the rest of the drawing. So we got that brush. So let's now quickly go ahead and finish this wonderful picture. Right, following the colors, you see, color picker. I'm picking the color pickers. I'm defining what's there. Remember we had a bigger brush before, but now we can really get close to the details and lay down the proper colors. Okay, there, can you see? That's a different color set. And then here, got the rope coming up, it's dark. Here, and then this color here. So remember, this is what you're looking at. You're looking at the actual reference image according to your drawing, and you're just laying down the drawing. That's all you're doing. And you can do this with any image. You don't have to be with this. This is purely for demonstration of the power and capability of block coloring, okay? And keep it very tight, because if you carry a color, like for example, if I carried, look at this one, right? If I carried this color all the way down there, look what happens. Let's see. I've carried this color and then I decide to go like that. Look, that's ridiculous, isn't it? It just doesn't make sense. So when you keep it tight. Keep the colors you pick tight so you don't go out of its full range. Yeah, that's what I meant. And then you sort of get the tonal variations that's going on in that region. Yeah, that's all you're doing. That's it. And you see these colors, beautiful colors of the horse there. Look, this is the color, that little bit dark. Right, so keep picking the color and any color you see different, like here, because you're looking at it close, just do it, just pick the color picker and just lay it down, okay? That was a background that we're not working with, so we need to take it back to our color. And yep, you got it. Now it's making sense, right? And then take it back and pick the colors of the reference image. Okay, there. This is the beauty of drawing. It's so lovely. I cannot tell you how much pleasure you can get out of drawing like this. This is not really drawing as such, is it? Come on. It's like you're just following, copying, but at the same time, you're learning. Let's see what we have here. So this muscle part is part of the horse, so I'm going to take it off. There. This bit, I don't know, I think we could try to capture the dark areas, but then just a scribble, 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 scribble. That's all it is, scribble. What do we got here? Is that part of, I don't know what's going on here, but we'll fix that. And then what do we got here? Still part of the horse, yep. Just trying. This is how the great masters produce their artwork. It's nothing complicated. People are amazed when they look at the whole art piece and get gassed at what they've done, but in reality, this is all they're doing. They know the detail and they're able to pull it off, saying, I need the minimum amount of work. And they have to go through a lot of art pieces. They're not going to sit on one art piece and call it a day, are they? That's why they continuously improve. This is I'm talking about the great past grandmasters, you know. That's fine. That's just going up here. What have we got here? We've got this, the hair, I think. And we can always look what that, yep, that's part of the hair. Make sure you pick the right color, okay? Seen that? That's so easy to do, just to create the tones for you. So there you are, right? So now I might give you some time. I'm gonna do the head there, around there. We haven't concentrated on the head. How much, what are we doing for time? 10, oh, we got good 20 minutes. So let's look what we have here. We've got this, oh, it's the mane that's coming up here. It's beautiful colors. It's not the actual, I actually thought it was the background, but it's not. It's part of the thing that carries this beautiful. Just creating the shape, that's all, the colors. When you create the colors, that's all matters, all the tones. This is like creating that cart that John F. Constable did in his drawing of the hay wain. It's got that lovely blue mane, right, isn't it? And see where it needs shaping, right? See, this multiple colors add, and they add like textures. This is how you create textures, not through finding a brush the easy way out, because you're so used to digital tools, Scott. This is the real drawing, okay? Okay. And then what we have here, that's it. Let's see what that looks. Very nice, isn't it? And then we can carry on drawing that mane over here. But before we do that, and then we could finish off with the body and we're done. I'm going to do what I'm going to save it and then open it up again, as you know. So we got this nice little bit here. What is that? That's like a little white dot right on its forehead. How interesting. I thought it was a mistake of some kind, or something we've left behind. But anyway, that's what we have. And let's draw this bit. Look at this one. You're going to create the textures on that, okay? This is how you do it. Pick the different colors Right, let's go back and forth. So we got these colors, just bring those colors like that, just to show you. Nothing complicated. You may think it's so complicated, just like the same as creating the trees in Bob Ross's How Easy Makes It Look. Nothing complicated. Right? Use the different colors, take advantage of these different colors. Okay, we haven't finished that actually. This bit we haven't finished, so we need to get in there and finish it, otherwise this strap will fall off this guy. Right, we don't want that. And then probably have an accident, isn't it, with the person riding it. And we don't want any liabilities, do we? Okay, just easy peasy. Just easy peasy. So hopefully they can't sue us for anything when they start riding this horse, right? Okay. They're just getting, because I got this smaller brush, I can really get into the details and see what it looks like. We haven't done this bit here. It's trying to get away from us, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Then what we have here. Just creating the illusion. And do we have what we have here? Yeah, we've got that nice tidy white bit there. Just let that form this strap that we want to refine. All right, let's see. Oh, wow, looking good already, isn't it? So now you can see this is the drawing process. It's a good time for me to mention the drawing process. You know, people, when they're not familiar with art techniques, what do? They rely on tools to get them up. So they come to layers. They think, I can't do this, so I need layers. And have we used layers? No. Have we moved to any tools? Blending? No. No. Stick to the minimum and learn techniques that will far surpass the tools that are available. Otherwise, the danger is you become dependent on the tools. And there's many people who come here and say there's not much tools, so it must be for beginners. And the ironic thing is that I can make artwork like they've never seen before. And they can't, but still they say it's for beginners, right? I mean, these are people who are so enamored with tool sets, right? They haven't done what it takes to make really good, impressive drawings. But there's always a way to learn, and I encourage you to learn. Keep your mind options open, right? Don't dismiss things easily. It's silly. If you dismiss people, big good artists never dismiss things when it comes to art. So I'm going to do something quite interesting here. But before I do that, I'm going to finish off this. Can you see this is, oh yeah, I meant to say the drawing process. So the drawing process, in essence, is anything that you take from zero canvas, like a blank canvas or a blank piece of paper, all the way to an impressive piece of art. That is, in essence, what art is all about. And everyone wants to learn that drawing process. The problem with the traditional materials, learning the drawing process, it's extremely hard for the teacher to replicate the process of drawing with traditional because they have to mix the exact colors, exact proportions, and you cannot keep track of the exact pressure the artist applies, and then when he takes off the pressure, it's all unique to that individual artist. And it's the reason why a lot of us love watching the creation of the art, but rather not the process. And the process is what will allow you to refine your art techniques and learn art much more rapidly than any other form. And Paintology does that really well because you're able to pick up another exact phone or similar phone, doesn't have to be exact, and follow the exact instructions of the digital tools. Digital is digital, meaning it's exact. It's ones or zeros. So it tells you 1.7%, 100% setting than what I did. So you can come back to it and follow it and try and follow along to it. And if you're not following along to it, it's some mistakes you're making. Don't blame it on the system, okay? Just keep trying. And so the drawing process, what it does is that if I had not gone to this level, I would not know what the next step is. If I had not reached this step, I would not know what the next step is. So it's a progressive manner of reaching the final step in the drawing, and it's something that's not talked about in the traditional medium because the drawing process is unique to the individual. People sometimes wrongly term it as style. It's not a style, it's a technique. It's an art technique developed by the artist. And it can, but it just so happens any artist who creates a marvelous piece of art will not be able to convey those techniques easily to the student who wants to learn. And then when they do attempt to break it down, they try go to the basics and make it really pretty uninteresting. But in this way, it is more interesting because you can now learn the process of drawing like I've shown you, the step by step, when I've taken you through here without jumping to tools as like most other apps. You are basically using the same tools, refining your techniques, understanding what's involved, the core skills of art. Okay? These are the core skills of art which you can apply to anywhere. So now you see when I look at this drawing, the drawing process tells me that having reached here, this is an eyesore, isn't it? Definitely an eyesore, isn't it? So I'm going to just refine this, pick the colors, and just, not just gonna, and have we fixed that? This looks a little bit better, but not as good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick some of this color, just tone it down, and give the impression, pick some of these colors, so it doesn't look like, you can fix things. It's not this is your creation. This is your horse. Right there. Okay. I would fix that. Not quite. So I need to do a bit more. There. So that. Just play with it. Let's see what that looks. I think it looks alright. In fact, I'm going to come back to it because I have an idea for that, to fix that. So it's a technique. Let's clear this mane here. Let's like sort this baby out. Oops, just make it longer. Right there. And now we've come to a very important step in this one. This is where I'm going to introduce you to the density here. So I'm going to take this density down to 20%. And remember what I told you about it. Take the brush size to 20 here. Okay. And I'm going to pick these colors. And I'm just simply going to sketch here. I'm going to switch back and forth. So watch what happens as I do this. That's too big, can you see? It's way too big brush. Now we need to take that down. And watch if I pick this. It's almost like a pencil drawing. It's way too big as well for the drawing. So I'm going to take, oops, no, 20% was all right. 6%. See that there? Watch what happens. See, I'm building up the gradient, the shade. Right? The same thing here. Look, I'm going to build up the shade. I could even increase it. This comes with experience. I cannot tell you that. Look at this here. And then you'll be surprised with how quickly you can create a shape like that. The diffuse state of the... Okay, what is this distracting thing? That's what happens, is like, got the horse. So I'm going to take it up density. Just follow me for a while, and then you'll understand what I'm trying to derive. Just bear with me. Right, I'm trying to remove that really difficult, awkward horse that's been at the front. And I'm just trying to carry this horse all the way down, as though it owns that space, you know, here, okay, and here, okay, and then we could think what we need when you do it, right? Think to ourselves, this horse looks all right like that, and this is probably its back, right there. Let's see. Yes, it's looking so much better. But the horse, is that his back? Yeah, I think that is his back. So let's take that down a little bit. Bear with me just a second, and then just refine this a little bit more. Let me take that down even more. This is where some experience comes into it. And I'm not going to take you in all the way. If you're not going to learn, you know, you're just want to be led, isn't it? You need to really learn the tricks of the trade. That's the reason why you become good. Right there. And here. Remember we got that the green out the way. This is our green. And here. There. And then look at this here. So I'm just adding these shapes, trying to replicate these shapes, nothing more. And then here. So maybe I've got a bit of that hump, but now you can see it's actually looking quite nice. How are we doing for time? I think I've probably, yeah, 5 minutes away. I think I've probably shown you what I can. And see, so we've got that horse here. And let's look at this bit. How do you think we can blend this bit here, right? So it's very easy. This is what you do. This is where the density setting comes in. Take it to the roughly the area size and pick a color, any color. And look how we're going to blend this. Right there. That's it. And then I can blend this bit. Let's make it look like this part. Do we have this horse blending here? Yes. And just use your, and then here I'm going to just blend this. So it looks soft, diffused. Okay, and then here, let's put a bit of a darker tone to it. Let's take it down. Get that illusion of 3D, isn't it? And then we could do the same thing, we could blend this so it doesn't look like a harsh edge. Right, you see how you get some like real depth right there. It's amazing what you can do, just a little bit of that. You see that? How quickly we form that. The same thing with the face. You see there's choppiness here on the face. We can use that. 3%, 10%. Look at that. It's so beautiful. This is the beauty of just these simple tools. People forget these simple tools are enough. And then we can increase it if we're not getting the colors. Look at that, this here. The area that we can blend here, right? And then you can use the adjacent area and blend it. Look at that, gives the illusion of depth. And then here's some orange. It's definitely a beautiful pony or a horse. And then this bit. See that? Just creates that beautiful. And there's these drop shadows there, which we want to capture, right? Increase the drop shadow. Right? Giving the illusion. There. Do you see how I'm creating textures? Right? This is how artists make impressive drawings, because they understand these tiny little bits and just giving you glimpses of what you can do. Just a little bit of effort. Look at that here. See, remember we just used 100% brush. Now we're adding more depth. And then you can bring this, gives that. And then look underneath there. Here you can see it's a bit dark here. Right there. And then just go over it and add a bit of texture, like, right, that's all you do. See that? Add a little bit of darkness to it. Get that feeling. And then you could do the same with the blue. This color that we've got on the brush. So it doesn't look like cartoonish. It's the danger of using tools that can look cartoonish. Right there. You've got so many areas that you can play with. Alright, let's see what we got here. A nice little thing there, isn't it? Well, I think we're done. And then this area is still, it almost looks like a bird did its bit here, so we don't want that, do we? Bird. So we know it's a nice clean horse, do we? Right there. What do we have here? Just there. Illusion. That's it. Illusion. That's all you want. Right there. I'm happy with that. So I hope you are. So we're out of time. And I do hope you've enjoyed this. It was a pleasure showing you this drawing, and I hope you can also learn from this. If you have any questions, please do let me know and comment and everything. So comment and then also give me any feedback, and do subscribe so I can continue to bring these lovely exercises. Drawing fun, yeah? So let me sign it here. Where should we sign it? There. Let's sign it here. All right, and then until again tomorrow. So see you then. Thank you very much for watching, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.